Welcome and thank you for joining us today on this wonderful morning on Wheaton News. Today we have multiple different stories to share with you guys across multiple different fields.
Thank you, Sydney. Our first story is about the infamous explorer Christopher Columbus.
Breaking news, 3 million people proclaimed dead in the New World over the span of 14 years. This is live footage right here in the heart of the New World. Christopher Columbus, who was born in Genoa, Italy in 1451, voyaged to the Americas on a quest for gold and a new route to Asia by going west. He accidentally found this new land and then exploited the natives for gold and labor. He began to take advantage of the natives when he found out that they had gold and asked to be taken to their leader. He instilled fear in the natives, so they had no choice but to listen to him. The Native Americans had been here for over 10,000 years. Christopher Columbus claimed land in the New World for Spain, ignoring the fact that this land already belonged to the natives. He then changed his actions to appear more civil when he recorded his findings in his journals. In his time on their land, he demolished the population of Native Americans. Native Americans were taken as prisoners by Christopher Columbus, and he later claimed they would be very easy to overtake. His cruelty became so bad that he was arrested in Spain and even lost the trust of many of his supporters. Christopher Columbus viewed the natives as timid and said they were too grateful for the little gifts they received. Many people argue whether or not Columbus should be celebrated for his actions. Reporting live from the New World, this is someone who shall not be named. Back to the studio.
Hello and welcome to the Viking segment of Wheaton News. I'm your host, Amelia Polanco, telling you the what on the Viking lifestyle. I think we've all headed out to sea in our lifetime by now, whether it be in search of riches or even credit of finding new land. Today we have a special guest appearance who is known for exploring those vast oceans. Everyone, please welcome Leif Erikson. Hello, Mr. Erikson. Thank you for meeting us here today on the show.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here.
Many of our viewers are very interested in the Day of the Life as one of the most well-known Vikings around these parts.
Yes, that's a good compliment. Well, back home there was a fair share of farm work, but on the seas everything could be mine, so I dedicated a grand majority of my life on the seas.
Tell me more about the seas. Have you made any new discoveries of land?
Oh, yes. I have. It wasn't on purpose, though. While on my way back to Greenland from a voyage, I accidentally sailed off course and ended up on land that I'd never recognized before.
How fascinating. What is your favorite navigation tool for these trips?
Oh, now I personally don't have a favorite, but us Vikings use a sun compass to find out which way we're going.
I guess whatever gets the job done. Oh, look at the time. It looks like that's all the time we have for today.
Yeah.
Thank you again for joining us tonight.
Yes.
We hope to see you again on the show very soon.
Beautifully done.
And with that, let's check in with the weather.
Hello, I am your weather forecaster for this week, my fellow Vikings. So let's get started with Sunday's weather with a bit of clouds and light rain showers towards 8 p.m. moving into early Monday morning and at about 6 a.m. Standard Western Time. Monday should clear up and stay partly cloudy with temperatures around mid-60s, as will Tuesday. However, Wednesday we do have a very drastic change in temperature, as it will be around 80 degrees and sunny along with Thursday. However, Friday it will drop back down to the low 60s and we will have heavy rain showers all day, leading into all day Saturday as well, hopefully drying up by the end of the night. And with that, let's get on to this cooking segment of the news. Make sure to stay dry.
Hello, I'm your Chef Liv. Here are the ingredients you need for today's recipe. First, we'll put the yogurt into the bowl. Make sure you get all of it inside the bowl. Then, we're going to put in the honey. Then, we're going to put in the honey. And then the final part, the nuts. Final step is mix.
Hello, this is Wheaton News. For today's news story, we're going to be covering the Atlantic slave trade. Between the years 1500 and 1800, nearly 13 million African Americans were kidnapped, forced onto European and American human trafficking ships, and were brought across the Atlantic Ocean to be enslaved. Today's top story is about how many problems the African slave trade caused, one being the amount of traffic it caused in the Atlantic Ocean.
As you can see from this video, there were so many ships traveling all throughout the ocean. This is an issue because traders are trying to trade actual objects instead of humans and are met with slave ships instead. There were more than 14,000 slaves at this time. The slave trade also was a very brutal process. 20% of all Africans brought onto the ships never saw land again. They stopped midway and they would chain and dump live bodies into the ocean.
Order, order. Now let the trial of the Atlantic slave trade commence. We have the prosecuting side, 2 former slaves, and a defendant, a slave owner. Prosecutors may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would like to bring myself to the stand. When I was on that ship, the things I experienced could not be described as anything less than horrible. We were fed little food and forced into cramped spaces. And on top of that, we were also beaten and tortured whenever they thought we might have done something, or even just for the amusement and fear of the criminals.
Defense, you may cross-examine.
What was some of the food that you were fed?
We were fed rice and sometimes beans.
See, the slaves on the ship were fed very haughtily and taken very well care of.
No, that's a lie. And even when we were fed, it was little. We had one pot of stew for everyone, and then 1 glass of water if we were lucky. There's a reason that 20% of people who took this journey died.
I rest my case.
After hearing your evidence, the jury has come to their conclusion. The jury has voted in favor of the defendants. Court adjourned.
After the trial, we interviewed Gregory, Zidane, and Antoine. How do you feel about the results of the trial?
I'm very frustrated. I lost, and with all that clear evidence, the defendants still sided with the defendants. It just really confuses me because all we really want is to be seen as humans, just like them, that we are equal and not barbaric.
We're interviewing Christopher Columbus today, and we're gonna ask him a couple questions about his legacy. How and where did you start your journey?
I started my journey in Spain and I left on a voyage to Asia. However, I've been told that I didn't land on Asia but a different continent.
Dang, such a far journey. How was it?
It was bad and hard to live on the ship, but it was worth what I discovered.
And what were your thoughts on all the things people are saying about you?
They're just hating because I'm the best explorer.
Why did you start exploding natives?
Because I found this land, so they have to work for me.
How many natives did you kill on your way back up from the journey?
I killed around 20% of the natives that we took, but it's okay, I can just get more.
Did you kill them?
No. They killed themselves because of the terrible conditions, and we beat them to death. They aren't worthy of being called human.
You're terrible! I can't believe this!
Just answering the question.
Oh, my bad. I'm disgusted. Get off the show.
What I do, all I stated was the European truth.
Hell no. We're interviewing Christopher Columbus today, and we're gonna ask him a couple questions about his legacy. How and where did you start your journey?
I started my journey in Spain and I left on a voyage to Asia. However, I've been told that I didn't land in Asia but a different continent.
Dang, such a far journey. How was it?
Really long.
Hello, Sidney Lockhart here. And for today's news story, we will be discussing the trading system during the Columbian Exchange, which will be introduced by your host, me, Sidney Lockhart. Live on the western coast of Africa. And here we're live on the scene on the West African coast. As you can see behind me, or next to me, we have this cruel slave owner whipping this poor slave. Let's get an interview with this slave. So we're here with the slave. Excuse me, slave, what is your name?
Anthony.
Anthony. Nice to meet you. Why are you a slave?
Because I'm black.
And what is your least favorite part about being a slave?
being mistreated
Why do you think you were mistreated?
because they think that we're less and that we're worthless.
Powerful. What would you change about your past if you could?
Everything.
What is something you would want to say to your slave owner that abuses you very poorly every single day? And there you have it, folks.
We hope this was very informational for you.
This was Wheaton News.